Hey guys, Mike from Red Sea Visuals, and today we're going to go over the editing suite. Now when I say editing suite, I'm not talking about a private room where you go away to do all of your editing. What I'm talking about is all the different type of gear that you're going to need to get in order to set yourself up properly for editing. And we're going to start with hard drives. I know, it's not the sexiest thing in the world to be talking about, but it is an absolute essential part of your editing suite. Anyway, with that obligatory intro done and out of the way, let's just get right to it. Cut to that intro. So the general rule of thumb when it comes to hard drives is you never want to store your footage on the internal hard drive on your computer. And that's because you want to use the internal hard drive on your computer solely for running apps. That way everything processes and runs faster. So you're going to need 3 external hard drives. Now why 3? Well, you want one to act as your work drive, meaning whatever project you're working on, all the footage and all the files are going to be on that one drive. And then you want the other 2 drives to act as your backups because you never know what can happen. A drive only has to fail once for a project to be ruined. So which hard drive should you get then? Well, it all depends on which camera you're using because each camera has a different bitrate. So if you don't remember what bitrate is, it's how much data is needed for every second of recorded footage. So the higher the bitrate that your camera has, the faster the drive that you're going to need and the more storage space you're going to need on that drive. So when it comes to work drives, you don't actually need a ton of space on the drive itself because you're only going to keep the footage from the current projects that you're working on. So if you're using a DSLR or mirrorless camera that's 2016 or older, the things you want to look for in a work drive is a speed of at least 7200 RPM, storage size 1 terabyte, and at minimum you want a USB 3.0 connection. Now me personally, I prefer external hard drives over desktop drives because I like it that you can just power it just via the USB connection. It just makes things a whole lot more convenient. You don't have to worry about plugging into outlets or anything like that. So here are 2 suggestions for you for a work drive. You could go with this G-Tech 1TB G Drive EV RAW. It's $89.95 on B&H. It has a 7200 RPM disk speed, and it has USB 3.0 and eSATA connections. Now just a reminder, you'll find links to all the products that we talk about down below. The second suggestion I have is the G-Tech 1TB G Drive, and this one goes for $139.95. It's also 7200 RPM, and it has USB 3 and Thunderbolt connections. You may have noticed a little pattern here. I like G-Tech. It's a reliable brand. When it comes to hard drives, you don't want to go too cheap and be playing chicken with failing hard drives. So if you're using a mirrorless camera or cinema camera 2017 and newer, well, these have really good image quality, and because of that they have really high bit rates too. And remember, when you're working with a higher bit rate, you're going to need faster read speeds for your hard drive, and you might need more space as well depending on what kind of project you're working on. So because of that, you're really going to want to go with solid state drives. These suckers are really fast. Nothing's going to make you want to quit editing a video faster than experiencing choppiness or lag every time you try to make a cut, or even if you're just trying to watch the footage that you shot. You can go with the SanDisk 1TB Extreme Portable USB 3.1 Type-C external SSD. I almost didn't get it in one breath. You can get this one for $169.99 on B&H. Now this is 1 terabyte like it says in the name, and it's USB as it says in the name as well. It's bus powered. Remember how much I love bus powered drives. Or you could go with the Samsung T5. It's really popular. In fact, that's what I use myself. And this goes for $179.99 on B&H as well. 1 terabyte, USB-C, and bus powered too. So when it comes to the 2 backup drives, you're in luck because read speed doesn't really matter. You're not going to be working off of these drives. They're just backup drives. And because you don't need high read speeds, the cost of these drives are actually going to be much lower. The most important thing when it comes to your backup drives is 1, reliability, obviously, but 2, how much storage space there actually is in the drive. So with that being said, here are a few good choices for you. And remember, you don't just need 1, you want to get 2. You can go with this Western Digital 8 terabyte Elements desktop drive for $144.99. It's got a USB 3.0 connection and it's compatible with USB 2.0 as well if you still have an old machine. Or you could go with the Seagate one, this 8TB expansion desktop drive. It's $164.99 and it has the same USB 3.0 and 2.0 compatibility. Now you might be thinking, why on earth would I want to go with a more expensive option? Well, it really just depends on your brand preference. Either of those will do. Now it should be noted that both of these drives are desktop drives. And that means you're going to need to plug them in and it's going to take up more space. But I like to go with desktop drives when it comes to backup drives because they're just so much cheaper. So there you have it. Whew, need to cool myself off a little bit after all that hot talk about hard drives. Anyway, of course you can go with more advanced options like building a NAS or RAID setup. But for most cases, a simple setup of one work drive and two backup drives should be good enough. In the next video in this series, we're going to be going over editing software, also known as NLEs, to help you see which one suits your needs best. Anyway, I can't end this video without doing the usual begging of asking you to like, subscribe, comment, and turn on those notifications, and we'll see you next time. Please do it.